Good afternoon, everyone. This is Bob Starr, along with Dick Bass and Steve Bailey in Chicago at Soldier Field, where the Rams are in today to take on the Chicago Bears for the NFC Championship and an opportunity to go to New Orleans for the Super Bowl.
They had overcome numerous obstacles, personal setbacks, and crippling injuries. But now the Los Angeles Rams face their toughest foe of all. No one would be able to stop the Chicago Bears in 1985. Not even a Rams team that had triumphed over great odds and achieved numerous milestones. A championship dream faded that cold afternoon. But the warm memories of the Rams' finest season in 6 years still fired the imagination.
What's that defense? Let's go, Browns! Let's go!
Brock back to throw, steps up and fires for the left. He has Duckworth wide open, touchdown!
Run it, baby. Run it.
For the third consecutive season under Coach John Robinson, the Rams improved their record. They won their division when many had left them for dead. And they came within one game of the Super Bowl. For the Los Angeles Rams, a world championship may now be just a dream away. In 1985, the Rams celebrated 40 years in Southern California by naming their all-time team. But lineup decisions weren't quite as settled with the 85 ball club. The aggressive player acquisition posture of team president Georgia Frontiere and John Robinson was tested in an effort to replace longtime great Jack Youngblood, who retired after 14 seasons. Also missing would be the injured George Andrews. But the Rams had done their homework. L.A. had drafted wisely, selecting players like linebacker Jim Collins and receiving ace Henry Allard. Timely trades added defensive end Gary Jeter, ball-hawking corner Gary Green, and kick return specialist Ron Brown. The free agent market brought Canadian leaguer Dieter Brock and veteran running back Charles White, number 33, who scored the winning touchdown in the Rams' first 2 games of the season. White set a team record for rushing attempts in a win over the Eagles. And then the Rams added to their numbers when they signed holdout runner Eric Dickerson, returning him to the team's gallery of great athletes.
It's like being a collector of very, very fine pieces of art. If you get a Rembrandt or something, you're going to show that piece off, and you're going to treat it very special, and you're going to take care of it. And Eric Dickerson is a Rembrandt.
On a Monday night in noisy Seattle, the artistic Eric etched a masterpiece performance.
Seattle's fired up. Handoff, Dickerson up the middle. Look at him go to the 30. He broke it.
Did that quiet everybody down or not? And he's not in shape yet.
Without benefit of training camp, Dickerson rushed for 150 yards and 3 touchdowns as the Rams blasted the favored Seahawks 35-24. The key to the Rams' running success was an offensive line that ranks with the best in the business. Of the Rams' 9 Pro Bowlers in 1985, 4 of them came from the offensive line, making it the most honored line in the NFL.
Coach Robinson, he's created an environment for them to be really almost the stars of our team. I mean, they believe that they are the best in the league, and we've set that standard. We're gonna live up to that standard.
Our job was to block and get the job done, but there's nothing tricky about us. just go out there and kick butt and go home.
Okay, now somehow you must not got off fast enough, Smitty.
I killed my guy, Hudson.
Did you?
He was right there. I got it.
So it was your guy that penetrated and knocked Pank off.
Your tackle goes this way. Be alert for Sam. But stay, you know what I mean? Jam him hard and look.
Slater, Slayton, and Smith. Bain and Bollinger. Pankey, Hera, and Hill. Men who kept cool heads while others around them were losing theirs.
You see a lineman go away, and you know that one's coming. You don't even have to look. You just put yourself in a position to stop his charge.
From their violent battles in the trenches, the line forged football's most feared running attack.
Yeah, our running game is very basic. We don't try to fool anybody. Our main scheme is just to attack and destroy it. I mean, that's what John said. We want to destroy the defense, and that's what we try to do. About the fourth quarter, we wanted to have the defense on their heels, kind of like rolling backwards, and I think we've done a very good job of that in the last 2 years I've been here.
With Dickerson, White, and Barry Redden, number 30, the Rams could place a feature back behind a line that carved open holes and wore down opponents. The result was an attack that was more blast than flash, and almost always ahead when the game clock expired. Although the running game was the Rams' heart and soul, L.A. could also throw the football when necessary. After 11 years in Canada, quarterback Dieter Brock set a team record by completing nearly 60% of his attempts, while ranking third in conference passing. One of Brock's key targets was number 81, tight end David Hill. Hill shared time with U-back Tony Hunter, number 87, yet another shrewd trading acquisition made by the Rams front office. After coming over from Buffalo, Hunter hauled in 50 passes and scored 4 touchdowns. In September, the Rams dealt for number 82, Bobby Duckworth, to solidify their receiving core. And Duckworth responded by averaging nearly 17 yards per catch. Once number 89, Ron Brown, returned to health, opposing secondary suddenly didn't feel so good, as Brown's blazing speed was a perfect prescription for the Rams' deep threat needs. Number 80, Henry Allard, was LA's leading receiver. Allard showed an amazing capacity to avoid tacklers and accumulate touchdowns, abilities that would also be valuable when he contributed on the Rams' special teams. When it came to the kicking units, the Los Angeles Rams took a back seat to nobody.
We're going left with the football, right? Knock your man down, hang on to the ball, big return. Ready? Go!
For the third consecutive season, Henry Allard led the NFC in punt returns. Just part of the specialty units across the board excellence in every kicking category. 22 field goals and consistent drives from Mike Lansford helped make LA's kickoff coverage one of the league's best. Rookie punter Dale Hatcher made the Pro Bowl with towering shots that allowed headhunters Vince Newsom, Mark Giroux, Ed Brady, and Jerry Gray time to zero in on their targets. Ron Brown had missed 3 games with pancreatitis, but that was the only thing that would slow him down all year. Once out of the hospital, Brown sprinted to the Pro Bowl by becoming the league's leading kickoff returner. This 1984 track gold medalist, who had more than once outraced Carl Lewis, turned in an Olympian feat of his own against the Packers. He became the first man in 18 years to return 2 kickoffs for touchdowns in a single game, an achievement that had only happened twice before in league history.
Del Greco hits it and strikes it over toward Ron Brown, drifting back, has it up the right side to the 10, up to the 20. Brown up to the 25, 30, to the 35. Del Greco's the only guy can get him. He's got to go all the way.
I knew he was dangerous, but I didn't think it was that dangerous, Bob.
Ron Brown, one part of the most dangerous special teams in the NFL. The Los Angeles defense was big box office in 1985, earning one of its best reviews of the season with a last-second goal line stand against the Minnesota Vikings in Week 5.
Minnesota is going to go for it. They come out, 13-10 Rams, 1 second. The crowd on this defense. Double tight inset, wing on the right, I formation behind Kramer, turn and a give. Darren Nelson hit at the 1. He didn't go in. They stop him at the 1-yard line, and the Rams have won the football game.
In 1985, there really was no room for argument. The Los Angeles defense, more than anything else, made the Rams a championship team.
We want to win football games on defense. It doesn't really matter to us whether it's 3-0 or 41-40. As long as we can keep less points on the board on their side than we've played winning defense. I still believe you win football games on defense.
The effort began up front, where the defensive line, already superb against the run, made its pass rush just as good. Doug Reed, Reggie Doss, Charles DeJournay, Dennis Harrison, Sean Miller, and Greg Meisner led the Rams to their highest sack total in 5 seasons. Number 77, Gary Jeter, feared last season's back injury might have ended his career. But Jeter returned stronger than ever with 11 sacks and countless big plays. The Rams' pass rush improved because they weren't afraid to blitz anyone, sending players from all areas of the field. What looked like mass confusion was in reality a carefully designed strategy.
What we're doing is one of the 3 linebackers is always going to be blitzing and the offense doesn't know which one it's going to be, where it's coming from. So it creates just a little bit of maybe a little confusion for the offense and something else they have to worry about. You know, we can do a lot of different things. It's a very flexible defense. You know, I can be either blitzing, I can be off in coverage, I can be in a zone, man coverage. There's a lot of different things you can do.
The Ram linebackers did just about everything in 1985. Collins and Carl Eckern hit, and Mel Owens and Mike Wilcher sacked as the evolving defense became even harder to diagnose.
The defensive scheme has changed. We're playing more man coverage, and we're blitzing a lot. We're sending more linebackers to try to get pressure on the quarterback, and that's the difference this year. We've closed up the gap between rush and coverage.
The secondary had perhaps its greatest season in 1985. Whether it was the brilliant run defense of team MVP Leroy Irvin, the multifaceted play of Vince Newsom, or the tight coverage and hard hits from Gary Green, Nolan Cromwell, Johnny Johnson, and Jerry Gray, there were few other secondaries whose talent ran so deep. Turnovers were their trademark. They led the defense to 46 takeaways in 1985. Only the world champion Bears forced more.
When we're not playing quite so efficiently, and when our offense might be having trouble that day, we expect we're going to knock that ball loose, or we're going to make an interception, run it for a touchdown, or something, but we expect to make those turnovers happen.
In Tampa Bay, John Robinson got a kiss from Georgia and a boost from his defense. Twice, the Rams came from behind with defensive touchdowns. First, Carl Eckern struck for a score, and then Leroy Irvin put the Rams ahead for good.
DeBerg has the tight end set on the left as he goes back to throw. And it is intercepted. Picked up by Leroy Irvin. Back to the 20, back to the 15, to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown!
Well, the defense is really playing some football here.
A week later in Kansas City, the Rams swiped 6 passes in a 16-0 whitewash of the Chiefs. LA's record was now 7-0, and with a fat 4-game lead over San Francisco, it appeared the Rams would have smooth sailing to the NFC West title. But in Week 8, the 1985 season began to unravel. The 49ers whipped the Rams in Anaheim, the start of 4 losses in a 6-week span. A controversial call in New York took away a Rams victory against the Giants. And then both the Falcons and Saints handed Los Angeles shocking defeats. Doomsayers proclaimed the Rams were finished. But through the slump, the leadership of Coach John Robinson kept his battling team together.
Remember what we are now. We screw things up, but if we out-tough the guy, they'll cave in. You stayed with that drill another 5 minutes, that group would give up on you. It's the way it always works.
That's John Robinson's philosophy. If there's a quitter on this team, he'll be riding the bus home.
Many people had quit on the Rams when they met the 49ers in a Week 14 primetime rematch. San Francisco was a 10-point favorite to beat LA and claim first place in the West. But Ron Brown's kickoff return for a touchdown sparked an incredible run that saw the Rams rally 3 times from deficits to take the lead. LA went ahead to stay late in the game when Gary Green made the Rams' biggest defensive play of the year. Green's run back made it 27-20 LA. And when Gary Jeter sacked Joe Montana in the final moments, the victory was secure. A week later, so was the NFC Western title.
Wide to the left is Brown, back to throw. Brock fires it over the middle, wide open. Tony Hunter at the 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown!
Dieter Brock fired 4 touchdown passes, and Eric Dickerson rushed for 2 more scores as the Rams bombed the St. Louis Cardinals for their first division title in 6 years and their 3rd consecutive playoff appearance.
And the Rams are the Western Division champions as they head for the locker room. The final score with the Rams winning 46-14 over St. Louis. This afternoon, the Rams take on the Dallas Cowboys, the winners of the Eastern Division of the NFC in this first round of play here at Anaheim Stadium. So it's off to the playoffs again for the Rams for the 3rd year in a row under John Robinson. They finished overall with an 11-5 mark.
Win the game on defense. Let's go. Quick start. Here we go.
The Rams-Cowboys game would not be a thing of beauty. It would be decided by the bludgeoning battles waged in the trenches of football's no man's land. The Dallas line proved no match against the Rams. The Texans had swaggered into Anaheim boasting of victory, but these Cowboys proved to be all hat and no cattle. The Rams took a 3-0 lead, and the defense made sure it was a lead they would never lose.
takes a snap, back to throw, rolling out to the right side, setting to throw, fires up to the right, intercepted by Jerry Gray, back to the 30, to the 35, and that kills off the Cowboy drive, and the Rams have it first down at their 35.
Eric Dickerson then sent the Cowboys and long-held records tumbling as he rushed for a league playoff record of 248 yards, the greatest single-game performance in Rams history.
Dieter Brock comes out of there as the quarterback. Turns and gives to the tailback Dickerson. Pops it up the middle of the 40. 40 to the 30, to the 20, to the 15, to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown! 55 yards.
That's a nice piece of running, showing you, look at this and take that. In your face, Dorsett. He had a cornerback trying to get to him, but he just laid it down and put it down into another gear. That's fun to watch.
Hey, man, I'm going to tell you something. They call that play. I said it's going to be a touchdown. You got 49 pitch? Hey, man, get on TV now. I said that's going to be a touchdown.
Back to throw is White, being rushed, being hit, back at the 50 and sacked.
For the first time in 36 playoff games, the Cowboys were shut out. And as their numbers dwindled, Eric Dickerson's totals grew larger.
Dieter Brock works on 2nd and 10 now. Turns out and pitches off to Dickerson. Hard right at the 40, 35, 30, down to the 20, 15, down to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown!
Whoa! Did he do that? Yes!
On this day, the Rams did more than simply beat the Cowboys. They showcased a team that in 4 years has steadily grown from pushover to powerhouse. In 1985, the Los Angeles Rams won their division and the respect of the NFL, bringing them closer than ever to their ultimate goal of a world championship.